Okay. Well, the group stage for the Euro 2020 is officially over. And I'm going to be reviewing my own predictions about the group stage and see what I got wrong, what I got right, and what I got you know? Alright. Group A, I predicted Italy was going to pass, Switzerland was going to be second, and Wales was going to be third, and Turkey was going to get eliminated. So I got Italy and Turkey right. Italy passed in first, Turkey was last. Switzerland and Wales kind of went like both ways for me. I was stuck between actually giving it to either Switzerland or Wales. Let me look at the group stage again. Euro. Euro. Yeah, and basically the only difference was goal differential, so it could have gone either way. So I'm content with the way that the group ended, and Switzerland did end up qualifying as best third. I will say, apparently, I didn't really say who was gonna pass best third or not, except for like two groups. So I didn't bother bringing them up, and we'll just see what happens. But yeah, I got roughly about 50% who would qualify, because I know I said Wales would qualify as best third. So yeah, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland all, but technically that's a 74% correction with Turkey. We are gonna say, it was we. Who the heck is we? That's just me here. I am kind of unfortunate that Turkey didn't really show up to put up much of a fight. It looked like they were going to, but then they weren't, because they were very defensive versus Italy on the very first half, and then everything just went, after that. So yeah, I think I actually like my predictions of what I did and how the group ended up. So the next group, I know there's some differences. So Group B, I predicted Belgium was going to pass first. I said Russia was going to be second. Denmark was going to be third. And Finland was going to be last. Now, I got the Belgium part right. So that's one. Honestly, I have no idea that Russia was going to be that bad. Well, they weren't that bad, because Denmark, Finland, and Russia all ended up with 3 points, so they weren't that bad. But it did come as a surprise that the effort that they put in was just horrible, that they got destroyed by Belgium, or in comparison to Finland and Denmark. So first of all, I know Finland didn't qualify. So the real way that the group ended up was Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. I loved the way Finland played. It's unfortunate that they didn't qualify as best third, but I think they put on a great game versus Denmark. I think they lost versus Russia, but even that game was, they were equal. And then versus Belgium, it looked like a completely different team. And they were close, and unfortunately, no dice. Once that first goal for Belgium came in, it was all over. So I was wrong on the Russia one, really wrong. Eliminated fourth place, no longer in the tournament. Finland ended in third, as I said, and Denmark. First of all, I'm really excited for Denmark. All right, I placed them in third, And I don't recall exactly, but I don't remember if I said if they would qualify best third or not. I must have missed it in the video. Um, um, First of all, I wish Christian Eriksen, stay healthy, stay, happy, and it was rough to see what happened. I have never seen that in my entire life. Just the scenes, like I felt my body freeze because I didn't know what was happening. And he was just like, I don't know, man. I reflected a lot on that moment, what happened with him. But kudos, great big round of applause to the medics, to the Denmark players. Making sure he's having some privacy. All around, great job, great work for both players, teams, and the fans. Is that I don't know. Like, I was watching it on the game, like over here in my house, and it's no words to describe what I was watching. And at first I thought it was like, oh, it's a really big injury, and then they showed the quick clip of him getting CPR, and I felt my body go completely cold from head to toe, and it was at that instant that I knew that something was far more wrong than what I had previously thought. But and it makes you reflect. It makes you reflect on a lot, and it's it's crazy that it takes those moments to really snap us back to reality, where we see these great tournaments and we see a bunch of players, and sometimes we forget that they're human as well. And these professional athletes are putting their bodies on the line, literally tackling headers. I don't know how many head-to-head instances we've seen in the Euros, the hard tackles. So, like, international level is on another level, and I think it was rough to see what had happened, but I'm glad that it was everything came out, ended up with a positive outset. So with that, I was very excited, to see Denmark, after everything that they've been through, to qualify second place. Regardless how far they go at this point, I think Denmark 100% deserves a strong recognition. The players, the staff, personal friends. His wife was at the stand, so it's crazy in how they had to fix their mentality to move forward. It's rough stuff. But yeah, really happy for Denmark. Really excited to see what's next. Not even after, like past the Euros, I want to see them at the World Cup. I want to see them, transcend and play great football. And just all in all, I would love to see other teams around the world to be like that. And yeah, a quick shame on the camera people that continuously were trying to be evasive when it was obviously that something was very wrong. And so it's crazy, but it's great that everything's all is all right, and you know, may he stay. May Christian Eriksen be safe, and whatever's next for him, you know, support him. Yeah. All right. So Group C, Netherlands. It was Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine, and North Macedonia. So I actually got this group right to the T. And that's insane. I went back and forth. I went back to my video. I went back and forth between Austria and Ukraine. At one point, I had actually given Ukraine second place, and then at the end of the video, I was like, nope, I'm gonna give it to Austria, and I got it right. I got it right. First of all, North Macedonia completely surprised me. They may have been completely destroyed by the Netherlands, but versus Austria and versus Ukraine, their game was really good. I really thought that they were going to pull some sort of surprise at any moment. But you know, round of applause for North Macedonia, and you know, very interesting to see if this those moments of euphoric that they had, the surprise early lead versus Netherlands, and everything that happens after that. So yeah, we gotta. I really think that if they keep it up, North Macedonia could have a couple more great games past the Euro tournament. As of like future, who knows? Maybe this can, you know, give some motivation to some younger North Macedonian. I don't know how to say Macedonian people, players. So really very excited to see. So yeah, I actually got that one right to the T. Believe Ukraine qualified as well. Yeah, so Ukraine qualified as well, and which is weird because I think I said Ukraine wasn't going to qualify. So that's probably the one thing that I got wrong, is that I said Ukraine wasn't going to qualify as best third, and yet they did. Group D, England, Croatia, Czech Republic, and Scotland. I got Czech Republic right and Scotland right. England and Croatia, I had them flipped. I went based off the biased knowledge of having Croatia beat England at the World Cup. Obviously that didn't happen, but it was a narrow win as well. So I think that was something good to watch. First of all, if you watch Scotland play, like I watched all games, top to finish. Scotland's game is on another level. I feel like them, along with like North Macedonia, could have pulled off like a surprise like moment, and unfortunately it didn't go their way. But I love their football. I love their speed, and frankly, you know, it's unfortunate, but you have to say, you know, Scotland 100%, you know, deserves more than where they're currently at in FIFA rankings, where they're currently at in World Cup qualifications, if they're even on them. I don't know, but Scotland 100%, I think, play their hearts out, even if unfortunately it didn't go their way. But yeah, Croatia did well. Czech Republic, the only thing I got. So basically, I got right England and Croatia that they were going to qualify. Just the positions flipped. Czech Republic went through as third place, and Scotland unfortunately got eliminated. Group E. Ooh. So I predicted. Where'd it go? I predicted Spain was going to be first, Poland was going to be second, Sweden third, and Slovakia was going to get eliminated fourth. I want to apologize because I completely forgot that Morata was the striker for Spain. Listen, all right, listen, no roasting for him. It's just, wow, my man, he's having a really tough time right now. And if your leading man is having some tough times, and the coach, I forget his name right now. He used to be the coach for Barcelona. If the coach decides to not put somebody else because even though he's not having a good time, he's still the best striker. That kind of says what's going on with Spain. So I do admit that there was some bias based off of what happened in the past World Cup because of the players that they had, and so I thought Spain was going to like rebound. That hasn't been the case. My contendership for them has gone down, not by a lot, but has definitely gone down. Sweden is great. I think if they had Zlatan, they would have gone all 9 points. Let's be realistic here. No. No, but yeah, completely played well all 3 games, and I think ended up in first. And I like that not a lot of people are paying attention to Sweden, because I think this Sweden team, based on how they played Spain, Slovakia, and Poland, they can go far on this tournament. They can definitely be a dark horse if a lot of people don't consider them a contender. But yeah, so I got the Sweden. So basically, I got everything wrong. Slovakia really surprised. Who they played first? They beat who they beat? Did they beat Poland? Yeah, I think Slovakia beat Poland, because then they tied Spain and lost versus Sweden. Right? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Poland really quickly. It's unfortunate, all right? They were down 2-0, and they scored 2 goals, and they needed 1 just to qualify. And then Sweden scored a goal, and it is what it is, So a surprise, but not something that can guarantee you to say, oh, Poland sucked this tournament. No. One of the things that I always have to remember is that soccer isn't about who has the better players. It's about who gets the job done. And unfortunately, that's the reality. You can have the best players on the pitch, on the bench, the best coach, but if the other team shuts you down and they have a great breakaway and they can score on you, it is what it is. That's the beauty of sports, is that you don't have to have the best players. You have to have the best dedicated people on your team. You don't have to have the most skilled, the most talented. As long as you have people who are dedicated, who are passionate, who are much more driven than these skilled players and talented players, you can always do damage. And I think that's why we love to see fairy tale stories of that one team that had a million of things, like 1,000,000 to 1 chances of ever winning this, and then bam, they win it, So that's kind of what I like. So yeah, Poland, unfortunately, I think didn't meet expectations, and Slovakia didn't qualify. They were the other team, the third place team that didn't qualify. And then we come to Group F. Listen. First of all, let's leave the 3 big teams aside and let's talk Hungary. When they lost 3-0 to Portugal, I think everyone was going to be like, oh, if Portugal beat 3-0 to Hungary, France is going to walk over them, and Germany is going to beat them by a small margin, but they're still going to beat them. They did not. Hungary pulled out all the stops versus France. And it comes back to what I was saying. It's not about having the best players or having the most attacks. and people say it's like, oh, it's like a FIFA game. No, it's real life. It's just what can happen and will continue to happen for many years to come. France was on Hungary. Hungary was by no means the best team on the pitch. One breakaway and they scored the goal and they had the lead. And they somehow managed to, even after France scored a goal, they somehow still managed to hang on to that tie and give them breathing space. And then Portugal went from destroying Hungary to getting destroyed themselves 4-2 by Germany, out of all teams, after 2 own goals. So this whole group was a big mess from the beginning. And then France beat Germany because of an own goal. So like, this group was insane to watch from the very first round to the third round. I would 100%, like, if these groups had like back and forth, like a 2-round game where you play each team twice, I would watch Group F and only Group F all the games. It was insane. Up to the last minutes, it was insane. And then France and Portugal. First of all, congratulations to Cristiano Ronaldo on reaching the 109 goals internationally. And I know for a fact, we're all going to see it. Ronaldo's going to get that 110th. Might not be against Belgium because and I'll talk about that game later. But I think this whole Penaldo thing, like, first of all, a penalty taken on an international level, there's always much more pressure. Always much more pressure, because you're representing yourself, you're representing your country, you're representing the staff, you're representing the Football Federation of Portugal, you're representing the fans, you're representing Portugal people that support the club, that support the team, the national team. So there's a lot more pressure in it. So the fact that Ronaldo can make those goals with ease, I challenge anybody that says Penaldo to work as dedicated as Ronaldo, get called up to play for your national team. Go up against big teams here, France, Germany, and score a penalty against Neuer, score a penalty against Lloris. In our minds, I can score if Ronaldo can do it. We think we're better than Ronaldo. Absolutely not. Ronaldo is like, the fact that he at least makes his penalties. And yes, there are a lot of other players in other nations that score penalties. That's because you have to have nerves of steel. And Ronaldo, he has extra nerves of steel. He has he can continue doing that. I don't care if all 109 goals of Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal were penalties. The fact that he could still, the fact that he can convert them is enough. Especially if it helps his team. Now, whether they were penalties or not, we can talk all about that for a whole nother session. But that 2-2 versus France was, that was a great game. Portugal taking the lead, France tying, then taking the lead, and then Portugal once again tying. And then I think Germany versus Hungary showed Hungary's potential. I think it also shows Germany's true face of inconsistency. Putting up a great game versus France, unfortunately losing to an own goal, beating Portugal 4-2, and then almost losing to Hungary, but tying 2-2 in the last minutes. So I said, and then what's interesting is that I actually got this group to the T as well. I said France was going to be first, Germany was going to be second, Portugal was going to be third, and Hungary was going to be fourth. However, the way that the games were played and the way that the scores came out and how each team fought, I did not expect that at all. At one moment, I genuinely thought Portugal was going to end up in first, France was going to be in second, Hungary was going to be in third, and Germany was going to be the one team to get out. Best group ever. Best group of death in a while, because we have had many groups of deaths in major tournaments, clubs, and internationals that always somehow seem to not live up to expectations. And I think this group of death definitely lived up to the hype. And I love that Hungary, when everyone was thought, oh, they're going to get like slapped around, they put up a fight. They put up great performances. And, it's obviously in the heart, to say they deserved a little bit more. they did deserve a little more. So unfortunately, that is the way of soccer. And we got France, Germany, and Portugal through to the next round. So that's my review for my predictions that I did for the group stage. And on the next video, I'm going to be talking round of 16s and how I think those games are going to play out, predictions. And yeah, man, really excited for international. I love international, like, big tournaments. It's always great to see the best of each country, or at least like best players, because not always all the best of the best get called up. So really great football. Yeah.